Looking to choose the right location for an impeccable hospitality? We have diligence in every aspect. At Rich Joy, we are dedicated to fulfilling our commitment of love to each other through experiencing a spacious environment, rooms, and a loving team to brighten up your day with a warm welcome. At Rejoy, we make you feel at home with a wide range of facilities with your privacy assured. We offer you value for money at an affordable price. Locators at Tama Community 5 near Doding International School off Community 5 traffic. For bookings and enquiries, contact us on 0551 907 907 or 0303 224 908. Email us on rejoylodge@gmail.com. Interact with us also on Facebook and Instagram at Rich Joy Lodge. Rich Joy Lodge, caring for those we love.
Hello viewers, welcome once again to Count Your Blessing. This is Kukwa and with me today are wonderful ladies, and we are going to discuss motherhood since we are in a month of celebrating mothers. I hope you will join us and then enjoy the conversation. So we have Vivian, we have Lydia, and then we have Della. And as usual, I'll be the host. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
So, Mother's Day. What is so unique about mothers that is worth celebrating? What is motherhood? Why do we have to be so fused with celebrating mothers?
Mothers will start.
Okay, I think we don't even have to think twice when we talk about celebrating our mothers. Because we know we are what we are because of our mothers. They bringing us up, they disciplining us, taking care of us. Everything concerning who we are now is because of our mothers. So I was having a conversation with a friend who said, and now she's living alone. And then her living room, she always tries to keep the place very clean. She doesn't want to leave any of her clothes on the seat and all that. Then I said, hey, what my mother used to do to me. So it's like she has picked up that attitude or that discipline. She has taken it to her own place. So it's worth celebrating them for everything they've done for us. You can't put it in a box. I can't define it because what our mothers have done for us is uncountable. Especially those who are committed, those who really care for us. So it's worth celebrating them.
Do you agree?
I very much agree. I see the whole motherhood as a calling, it's a blessing, and it comes with a lot of sacrifices. You need to be selfless to be a mother. So it's worth celebrating. Mothers are worth celebrating.
Auntie Lydia, boy girl.
Yes, and I think to answer the question of what is motherhood, I would say that it is the whole process of parenting, like nurturing someone, loving them, guiding them, setting an example for them. And it's not easy for anybody to do that. And like we usually hear, motherhood is 24/7. You don't get leave, you don't take a break, you don't get a day off. You are always somebody's mother, even when they are old. So I mean, it's really worth celebrating.
Yeah. Wow. So what I can conclude, motherhood is basically about taking or an interest in somebody and then nurturing them up.
Yeah.
So who really qualifies as a mother? Is it the person who literally brings forth a child, or any other woman who takes care of a person is a mother?
For me, I would say that it's not only somebody who bears a child. And one unique thing about me is that I didn't grow up with my parents.
Wow.
I grew up in an orphanage home. So you can just imagine how my view on this, where I was raised by somebody that was not related to me by blood at all. But today I have a very good relationship with her. So it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody bringing forth a child to be a mother. It can come in diverse ways. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
well noted. Okay.
Yeah, I also feel the same. It's not someone who brings forth the child biologically that becomes a mother. Anybody who helps in the process of bringing you up, I have a quote. I don't know the person who said it, but I said, "One isn't born a woman; one becomes one. You are not born and you become one. Though biologically you may be born, but in the process you become a mother and become a woman. So it's not the person who brings forth this. You caring for the person makes you a mother.
And I also think that apart from giving birth, when you adopt a child, when you raise somebody else's child, when you marry someone with a child or children, you are a mother.
Wow. Those are issues,
Yeah.
People don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Whole
In our
conversation.
parts of the world.
Yeah, in our part of the world, we think that there are some crosses many
Yes.
people will run away from
Yeah.
carrying, but I think they are worth
Yes.
doing it. And some people have done it and excelled in doing it. So, what are some of the misconceptions about motherhood?
I think we just talked about one of the major ones, that you have to bear the child before you can be a mother. So people
Okay.
presume that so far as you haven't
Given birth,
conceived
and
and given
especially in
birth,
our society,
yes,
the
you,
pressure,
yeah.
the insults.
so far as you haven't conceived and brought forth, you are not fit to be a mother, or you are not capable, let me say, to be a mother. You don't understand what it takes and all that. But I believe that is really one big misconception. You don't need to go through the natural process before you can have the love that is required to take care of other people. And to another thing before I hand over to Vivian or Della, I think one other thing is that we also think that you can do it all alone. I believe there's the saying that it takes a village to raise a child. We can't do it all alone. Even though as women we have a certain grace to do things that other people can't do, other males can do. I'm not going to even say other genders because there are things that we as women we are able to do so easily. But you don't have to mother alone. If you have a partner, you have to let them support. If you have like a support system, some people are single mothers, so that misconception that you have to be able to do it all alone, otherwise you are not doing it right, I believe is very wrong.
I will come back to this, but let me hear from them also.
Okay, sure.
The misconceptions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the misconceptions.
People think that being a mother is simple, or it's just.
But is it not simple?
It's not simple.
Really?
It is actually the most difficult but fulfilling and then rewarding task anybody can experience.
Wow.
It is very
You are telling me
difficult.
it's not difficult.
It is not. It is very, very difficult. It's not easy at all. And then you can't be a mother and decide not to be a mother at another time. Like
Once
you're a mother, it doesn't end. It's endless.
Wow. I see. And you raised a certain point, like raising kids together. And in our society, is that thing feasible? Because now teachers are not even supposed to beat kids.
Child rights.
This child rights issue, is it really going to help our society? Because those days, I remember, even by the time your mother knows you've done the bad thing, the people who are beating you to correct you. So at least it was like everybody had a role in raising up a kid. But now it's not like that. You can't even talk to somebody's kid that you are doing something wrong. I'll go and report it to my mother, and that become another thing altogether. Are we as a society, is it worth it? Or can we go back to some of these things?
Yeah, I think those things were helpful. Other people being able to check up on other people's children, because especially in today's world where everybody is so busy, you go to work, when you come back you're tired, but you still have to sit with your kids, so you won't always have an eye on your children 24/7. So if there's that system, a support system where some people can tell you something, oh, this. And now people don't even allow you to tell them what their kids have done wrong because it's kind of like a competition. Everybody wants to present like the best
Their
foot
best
forward.
family,
Yeah, that,
you know.
oh, my family is perfect. And so even if things are going wrong, how do you tell the person? Because the person has painted a picture where my children are perfect, they are so good. And so even if you see anything wrong, you don't know how to bring it up. And when you bring it up, it's like, how dare you? So I think we need to go back to that. It might not be the whole process of where before your mother gets to beat you, 7 people have already
Beating you already, I'm
yeah,
telling you.
But there are some things that we can imbibe, and as mothers, we can also encourage people to tell us if they see anything wrong, even if they are not going to beat them, but to open up the conversation, allow for people to be able to tell you certain stuff without getting defensive. That way, when they see something go wrong, it will be easier for them to tell you.
Wow. Antonella, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel same. I feel those days when we're growing up, you do something and attorney somewhere will say,
Discipline.
no one quite feel no feel, you know, they'll discipline you and then drag you to your mom.
To your mother.
Then your mom will be like, they'll tell the story, this is what your daughter did. Just right before the person, they'll give it to you. They don't even ask what actually happens. Later, that should be like, why don't go there, you don't do this, don't do that. But it really helped us. As my sister said, there's no need beating us, any like beating your children, dragging them and all that. But we should give that room for others to also talk about our kids when they do wrong. Sometimes some of the kids can pretend. They pretend they are good at home, but when they go to school and all that, I've had experience, so they are different from the house. So sometimes we need to give that opportunity for others to talk about our kids, the wrong things they are doing. You shouldn't take it in a wrong way, but you should just ask the kid to then we improve upon it, correct them and move on. And those things, it helps our society because you can't live in isolation. It will not help. Sometimes the child, when there's no one at home or anything, with that same neighbor, sometimes you leave the house key with that neighbor. Like when you close from school, go to Auntie Ya's place and go and, So that thing, it shouldn't leave our society. It shouldn't be like the Western world, whereby you and your dog, you and your household. Because
Unfortunately, we are getting to that
yes,
point.
because that thing really helped. That extended family system, neighborhood system thing was really helpful.
But now the other challenge too is, I think, insecurity issues. People
Yes.
are sending your kids, and the
Yes.
next moment. So, Auntie Vivian,
Yes.
would you allow someone discipline your child?
Yes, I will. Because, like my sister said, you won't always be around. And if a child is doing something, maybe what the child is doing will harm the child. But because maybe you won't allow anybody to discipline, if you are known not to allow people to discipline your child in a situation where your child could be endangering him or herself, nobody would discipline or correct the child. So I think it's good. But now you might not know who will be disciplining your child because of our settings now. Like formerly, it was like a neighborhood, a society, like a family settings in compound houses and the rest. But now, there could even be nobody in the house. It's just you. And then, or if there is somebody, it could be someone else that you don't even really know the person, because now the human contact is really no more. You will be with it, like you have a neighbor, but you don't know who the neighbor is, what he does, or anything like that. But it's something that I would welcome. Like if you try to discipline my child, I like it.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, so what role do you think women who don't have children can play in today's society?
Okay.
Women, I think that whether a woman has a child or not, she's still a woman. So whether they have a child or not, they can play any role that a woman plays. Like a woman nurtures, a woman cares for others, a woman disciplines, a woman educates and teaches. So in all those areas, a woman, whether giving birth or not, should be able to do that or should be allowed to do that.
Yeah. I think also as women we can support each other. You don't have to be a mother to support another mother, and we should do this without judgment. Sometimes you see a mother, she's overwhelmed, her kids are crying. You can take one kid, put her on your lap in a public transport, or she's struggling to keep her children around her at a party or something. You can support. It doesn't take too much, and instead of quickly jumping to the road that, hey, why do you have too many kids? Or this, sometimes people will see you with 3 or 4 children. You can't control them, and then the first thought is that, to me now, instead of quickly judging women, like maybe you don't know what she's going through. Maybe one of her kids is even sick, and she still has to show up at work. Instead of being the one to quickly judge or like you don't take your work seriously, let's support each other without judgment, and I believe it will help make motherhood easier. As Auntie Vivian said, it's not easy. Yeah.
Auntie Dada, so, I think that the society, well, that's my opinion. I don't know. The society really seems to be very hard on women at a certain age who don't have kids, especially when they are married. What's your take on that?
Yeah, it's true. It's unfortunate. No woman will get married and not have children, don't want to have children, especially in our society.
Yes.
Yeah, I know there are some people, maybe about 0.01%, they will marry and not want to have kids now. But in Ghana and in Africa, in our culture and our society, there's no woman who marries and who didn't want to have kids. So when you see a woman after a year, 2 or some years is not having children, don't assume that those
questions.
Those questions are very unfortunate. Already the person is going through stress, emotional stress, and all that. You are trying to, you don't know, you are sad for your husband and every other thing, and someone will come to you and say, hey, what are you waiting for all these years? I'm like, who marries and don't want to have kids? So it means that help, instead of criticizing, just help the person. If it's any prayer you can say for the person, when you see the person, oh God, help this lady to have kids or some, say a prayer. Don't go. It's very stressful and depressing. If you don't have a supporting family or people who can encourage you, it's very sad and painful. Yeah.
I think to add to that, yes, there are some people who might decide to be married and not have kids, but like Auntie Dela is saying, you that don't have the kids, you are constantly reminded of it.
Yeah.
Even in your own body. Every month you get a reminder that, hey, you are not pregnant. Hey, you don't have a kid. But then our families, even our church, I remember one time after a year and a half or so of being married, somebody met me in church, a women's fellowship woman. I don't know if that gives away my church, but she met me on Mother's Day, and she was like, she bumped her stomach into mine and was like, maybe I want them out. I'm like, what? And for some time I didn't want to go to church on Mother's Day and Father's Day, those kind of things, because I felt like everybody will now, and whenever you're praying, it's like everybody thinks that that's the only thing you're praying about. It's too much. We need to give people space. Once you get married, it won't happen like that for everybody. I always tell my people that among my friends, I was the first to get married, but people who got married after me had 2 or 3 kids, even in a few years. It doesn't work the same for everybody. So women who don't have kids yet, we shouldn't add on to the pressure. They know that they don't have kids. They don't need your reminder. If anything, pray for them. And you see people, every medicine they hear about, what try you with? What would doctor with? They'll be doing their own things.
But I think that they are also trying to show their concern.
Yeah, but you should look at the kind of relationship you have with the person. Like this woman that bumped her stomach into mine. I don't really have that kind of relationship with you for you to do that to
but
me.
She probably had you in her prayers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Then it's not. It wasn't being answered. So she had to do a physical manifestation.
Yes.
But we need to be
Maybe she heard
sensitive.
from
Good.
God to
Well, we need to be sensitive about these things because the person is going through enough already in her small circle. Sometimes there might even be family. Fortunately for me, my husband's family was not that kind of family that would be at your door every. It was my own biological family that I didn't even really grow up with them, but they were rather early in the morning. You wake up, you get a call, and then at that time my grandmother was around, so I'll think that, hey, what has something happened to my grandma? One of my aunties will call, has something happened to my grandma, and then I call the person back if I wasn't awake then, and then it's like, ata wow. I'm like,
really.
Shouldn't you
like,
get pregnant before you give birth?
Like they think that maybe I'm hiding it. And I'm like, did you dream about me or something? People can be very insensitive, and we need to give people a break. And I think sometimes till you've gone through it yourself, you don't realize how bad it is. People see you bloated a bit, especially around your menses, and sometimes you bloat up a bit and be like, oh wait there, and every Christmas the greeting is afisa say, it sometimes it's from a good place, but we need to tone it down a bit. It can add on.
That too?
Oh yeah, I do.
Really? I saw the eyes of Mammy.
That is
it's
even
human.
difficult.
Yeah, you are human.
It's very, as she said, every year someone will come to say, I feel say. One lady that I greeted her at the how we do 31st, and I was like, oh, a year by this time, I made sure to fulfill every heart desire to say, oh, Della, God bless you. You are the only one who said a different thing. Everybody who comes to me will be like, I feel say now I worry. I feel say now.
And you know why you worry there. So you can imagine.
And I'm like, the person knows she has to marry. What's your problem? The person knows she has to marry. So they should stop. We beg them. Already, married women with their kids, they are going through a lot emotionally. You have no idea. The person will not come to you crying or telling you stuff. But as she said, you are praying. Somebody even said to me that, I saw the other person so I can so I didn't know bumpire for no. I'm like,
do you know my
because
friend?
so in the person's mind, it feels like every time I go to
That's
God,
all
I'm
you
praying
pray
for
about.
that. That's all. I don't pray for that. I know that God must do it. That is to His own glory. So me, it's not my prayer topic. I'll pray when it's a I'll pray, but so you've got it wrong. So people should leave us alone.
They will leave you alone.
They have to.
This is Mama.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, what are the challenges as a modern mother? What are some of your challenges? What are some of the things you face having to go to work and all that?
Okay, thank you, Kukwa. It is really very challenging. It has to do with time. There are things that you can do. There are certain jobs you can't take as a modern day woman because some jobs are not that flexible. You need to only take flexible jobs. There are other things that maybe you could be doing, like working another job or something, but you can't do it because you have greater responsibilities at home that you have. Sometimes you have to fall on people to pick up kids from school. You have to, your weekends, maybe you have to plan and cook dishes for the whole week, portion them and keep them in the freezers. You have to do a whole lot. So it is really challenging. First of all, deciding on which jobs to take and not to take, even when you're working from home. It's not any job that you can do. A job that will require you to leave home as early as 4 a.m. to go and bring goods. You can't do it because who will prepare the kids, especially if you don't have a supportive husband. But you are blessed to have a supportive husband. Maybe if you decide to take that job and you have to leave at 4 a.m., maybe he'll be there to, prepare the kids and send them to school. So these are a few of the challenges that you have to deal with us there.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
You are my secret admirer. I've always been admiring you.
Thank
and
you.
your husband, actually. This is a confession. So, what as we, as women, married, unmarried, boyfriendless, boyfriends, those with husbands, and those with and without kids, what can we as women do to help society, this our modern society? What role can we play to help build a better society for tomorrow?
Okay, I think we can set an example, because when we began, we said that motherhood is a mother is someone who sets an example. Because every day, everything you are doing, your kids come and say that when you say that don't do this, they're like, mommy, you did it, So we first of all need to set an example always. It's like being a Christian, your life is an example, it's a testimony to somebody. So we should also treat motherhood or the privilege to even be looked up to by kids as the opportunity to witness to them, witness Christ to them, and always set an example, encourage them to speak up. We see white kids, they are confident, they are doing and we are happy and we are sharing it on our status. But then when your kids speak up, you be like, shut up. You don't respect. We don't talk like that. But we see it then, and it's nice. And the way the world is going, if you are not confident, you'll not get anything. So we need to also encourage kids to speak up. And it is when kids speak up that something is going wrong. Somebody tries to do something to them. I had a work colleague who had 2 girls, and a taxi driver comes to pick them to school. And and she's very close to them. When you see them, I think 9 and 8 or so, they are just a year apart. When you see how she is with them, it's so beautiful. And she one of the kids came back and told her that today uncle something, the taxi driver's name, was looking at my panty. And she asked the taxi driver that this is what my daughter said, is it true? And the way she was sitting, he thought that she wasn't wearing underwear. And I'm just thinking that, I mean, if she hadn't told her mom, it would have continued, and before you know it, he would have molested her. And the funny thing is that the taxi driver didn't show up after work, after the confrontation. So it means he had an ill motive, know. So we have to encourage children to speak, whether they are your own kids or not. Don't shut them up. When they want to, speak to you, when they want to get close, encourage them, build relationships with them. And before you know it, you're making a difference in somebody's life. You're saving somebody from something that could have really gone awry. So that's what I think.
So we are talking about what women can, the society can.
Women can do to contribute to a better society.
So the Marcos and the churches and is it school groups? How do you call them? Those WhatsApp groups and those things. They should stop discussing too much about their husbands.
The bad ones, the bad things.
The way they say it, sometimes you can't even go for meetings, because sometimes you go for Imanko or some church video. So the way those who are married should, and the way they'll go about it, it's like you don't fit in. So they should tone down on these things. It depresses some people. Always talking about, and my husband picked the kids.
Okay. That's intentionally.
No, they're not doing intentionally. What they are doing, they are expressing most of the time, it's not intentional. Like they are expressing something they are talking about. But I think that's not a platform to say those things. And then our churches, the community, they should take it easy on women. Women already, they go through a lot, because sometimes somebody's business becomes your business when it's not your business, because we care, that thing is in us. So somebody's child, even one time I was upstairs, I saw a child coming from school. I was just watching the child, and not because of what I saw cars moving up and down, so I was just careful that nothing wrong can happen to the child. So they should tone down these things. I say so because when you do these things, people become free thinkers. They don't become depressed. I don't do group stuff because of things like that. I don't like it when people talk about and my husband, and what about the other ladies who are not married?
You are married. No,
so I'm talking in that context as women. They should.
Just in this year, I have about 4 people giving me deadlines to get married. Unfortunately, they never brought men. So I'm so waiting for the deadline.
So when it comes to kids too, as my sisters all said, we should allow them to express themselves. So because sometimes they shout at the kids too much. I have my sister's kids and all those. I do that to them sometimes. It's like, to go to school, then look at how you've dirty your dress. Look
She
at how
has dirty
she has dirty her
We have
dress.
to
But
talk
That
about
one is
some-
discipline.
that one discipline. But there are other things we do that if you are taking your time to listen to the child, you would have been able to express herself or himself. Sometimes don't give them that opportunity and the room to do that. When they start talking or you're
African
doing,
parents.
so yeah. So we should learn to do these things and give them the opportunity to explain. They should have that close relationship with them. If you don't have that relationship with them, that taxi driver, the child wouldn't go and tell the mom that.
true.
So we should be very close to them. We should be friends with them. They should be able to express themselves, tell us everything. But I know my sister's kids sometimes. They would like to come and tell me some things they won't want to tell their mom.
mother.
Yeah. Because of the way I'll be like, no, your mom will not hear you tell me. So they're able to express themselves and tell me everything they want. Sometimes it ends up I tell my sister anything, but most of the
That's
time.
a breach of
So that relationship thing is very key.
Yes, ma'am. I know you are coming to me. Okay, so as women, what we can do to help our society is that a woman by nature is a caregiver. You have to care for others. You have to care for anybody around you. It doesn't have to be your child or your husband or anybody that we are related to by blood. A woman teaches. If you see something is going wrong and you have the knowledge or something that can help, offer help, teach the person. We are givers because we give our all as women. So we also need to give to others. You don't wait for someone to come and ask you. Maybe you have an orphanage in your area. You have things that you have them in excess. You can just go and bless them, and then we'll all be happy.
Wow. Really, really, really enjoyed you today. So, what's your final word? Mother's Day is next week. What's your final word to a mother?
Okay, I would like to wish all mothers, whether biological or through whichever means, a happy Mother's Day. The work is hard, but I mean, you can do it. You shouldn't try to do everything alone, as we said earlier, because it's a lot. And the moment you try to do everything alone, another part of your life will suffer. Your career may suffer because, like always, you're running out. Like Auntie Vivian said, running out. Like, oh, my kid's driver is not going to be able to pick them, so I have to go. And then your boss is like, is she going to be able to do this? A promotion comes and you're passed over, not because you are incompetent, but because you always have to, you have too much on your plate. So if you have people around you that you can trust with your kids, please trust them to support. Let people help you. Let your husband help you. Let your parents, if they are around, or siblings or friends who you can trust, help you to take care of your kids, so that another part of your marriage doesn't suffer. Sometimes your relationship with your partner even suffers because, and I'm saying this because I'm very big on relationships, building healthy relationships. It suffers because you are trying to be all in all, and you cannot do that. You're not superhuman. It's only Jesus who is superhuman. So you have to allow people to help. And when you're tired, take a break. When you're tired, take a break. Don't force it. It doesn't make you less of a mother if you have to take a break or relax or rest, because it will make you energized and you'll be a better mother even, because when you take a step back to rejuvenate. So happy Mother's Day. We love all our mothers and we'll keep making you proud.
Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. I want to wish my mom, Mrs. Annie Afram, a happy Mother's Day. I want to wish Lady Ivy Pokusa Akode happy Mother's Day. I want to wish all women a happy Mother's Day. It doesn't matter if you've given birth or not. You are still a mother, you are still a woman. So God bless you all.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you all. What I'll say to mothers is that I wish all mothers a happy Mother's Day. And being a mother, it could be by birth, by adopting a child, or raising someone else's child, a teacher, or even the female gender itself. If you're a female, you're a mother. I wish you a happy Mother's Day. I want to encourage you that being a female is not easy, but God as our strength. We have to draw strength from God. Like our father, Prophet Nanase Gokusakode says, that the Bible is our manual and God is the inventor. So at any point in your female life or your motherhood life, if you are faced with any difficulty, let's go back to our inventor and seek for help and seek for support. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for honoring my invitation. Happy Mother's Day to you as
Happy
well.
Mother's Day
I
to you
pray for
too.
you that may all your wishes be fulfilled. I'm not going to say anything. And to my viewers, thank you so much for watching. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. And my prayer for you is that may the will of God for your life be made perfect. May you always walk in God's will. Sometimes God's will is that no, you don't need to have a child. There's a child somewhere that needs you. So just stand in God's will, know what God wants you to do, and just do what God wants you to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful time. Bye.
Bye.